3 दशक हो गए चर्चा हो रही है महिला आरक्षण के बारे में। सामाजिक, आर्थिक और राजनीतिक जब तक बराबरी महिलाओं को दी नहीं जाएगी, किसी भी मुल्क का विकास हुआ नहीं ना होगा। और महिलाओं को आरक्षण देने का मतलब ये नहीं है कि उनको कोई सिर्फ रिप्रेजेंटेशन दे रहे हो आप, लेकिन उनकी भागीदारी चाहिए। जब तक महिलाओं की भागीदारी पूरी तरीके से नहीं होगी, किसी समाज का, किसी अर्थव्यवस्था का विकास कभी हुआ नहीं, किसी देश में ना हो पाएगा।
Well, she has never fought on the women's 33% reservation before. This is the first time she's taken up this, and she is not on a hunger strike, she is on a dharna. And the only reason she is on a dharna today for 33% women's reservation bill is because she knows that her arrest is imminent in the Delhi liquor scam. Because if you see, the 33% reservation that she is fighting for in Delhi has never ever been implemented in Telangana itself by her own father, who is the Chief Minister of Telangana. Mr. KCR, as the Chief Minister, as the party head of the BRS or the then TRS in 2014, gave only 6 MLA seats to women out of 119 seats. In 2018, he gave only 4 to women out of 119 seats. So where is the question of 33% reservation bill? If it is not even implemented in Telangana, what right have you got to go and fight in Delhi? If anything, you have to fight for the women for the reservation in Telangana, opposite your own father's house, opposite your own party office. There was no women minister in the cabinet of Telangana for the entire first time. Even now, we have only 2 women in the KCR's government's cabinet. We have just at least, I think, 2 or 3 MPs and MLCs as women. Even when the governor was insulted, nobody took a stand. The BRS party MLC itself insulted the governor using horrible language, and he was promised an MLA ticket in the coming elections. How do you see this government as respecting women?
तेलंगाना की लूट शायद कम रह गई थी, तो दिल्ली में भी लूट का कोई काम नहीं छोड़ा। और जो लोग भ्रष्टाचार में शामिल हैं, जिन्होंने राज्यों को तो कंगाल कर ही दिया है लूट लूट कर, वहां एक पार्टी की नहीं, एक परिवार की सरकार चल रही है। अगर किसी के ऊपर इतने गंभीर आरोप शराब घोटाले के लगे, जिसमें दिल्ली के उप मुख्यमंत्री गिरफ्तार किए गए हैं, अन्य लोगों को गिरफ्तार किया गया है, ये तो वही है कि घोटाला भी करते हैं और खुद ही अपने आप को ईमानदार भी बताते हैं, जजमेंट भी खुद ही सुनाने की बात करते हैं। क्या देश की कानून व्यवस्था पर उनका विश्वास खत्म हो गया है? उनको जांच में पूरा सहयोग देना चाहिए और देश के सामने दूध का दूध, पानी का पानी हो जाएगा।
Before 2014, they used to unite in the name of so-called secularism. After 2014, when action has started on corruption, they have started uniting for protection of corruption. On one side, there is mission and vision, and on the other side, there are those who believe in division, commission and corruption. That is an alliance of convenience and corruption.
उन सब विपक्षी दलों से एक बात पूछेंगे, क्या कहे कविता इस बात से मना करती है कि अरुण पिल्ले से उनके संबंध थे या नहीं थे? क्या जो उनका चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट पहले था, वह उनके बिहाफ पे काम कर रहा था, नहीं कर रहा था? क्या के कविता कभी दिल्ली में प्राइम मिनिस्टर में उन्होंने मीटिंग की या नहीं की? इसके सब तो डिजिटल रिकॉर्ड है। और अरुण पिल्ले और रिकॉर्ड कह चुका है कि इंडो स्पिरिट में जो मेरा 65% स्टेक है, वो के कविता का स्टेक है, मैं तो सिर्फ फ्रंट मैन हूँ।
Kavitha remains on this hunger strike at this point of time. Remember, she will present herself before the Enforcement Directorate tomorrow. Her appearance before the Enforcement Directorate has become a big signal moment for opposition unity, but it hasn't quite worked out in perhaps the way that the BRS was hoping it would, even though there are quite a few leaders there offering their support. Anisha Mathur is back live with us. Anisha, the big Enforcement Directorate questioning of K. Kavitha takes place tomorrow. What are you hearing?
Well, Shiv, K. Kavitha is scheduled to be at the ED office tomorrow for interrogation, for questioning. But today, with the Manish Sisodia's ED remand hearing going on, we have seen the ED building this case regarding the role of the South Cartel, the role of K. Kavitha in both getting the liquor policy changed and the money trail that the ED is on the hunt for. It is very clear that I beg your pardon. It is very clear that the ED is trying to build this case of money changing hands from Hyderabad to Delhi. They have been talking about the role of Vijay Nair, who's the communications in charge of the Aam Aadmi Party, who's under arrest in this liquor scam case, meeting K. Kavitha in Hyderabad and in Delhi. About the ED's lawyers have also raised allegations of Manish Sisodia himself also being part of the transactions where L1 licenses were cleared for Indo-Spirit and other L1 license holders. The files were cleared in a hurry for the sake of this quid pro quo. They are saying that there was political connection between the Aam Aadmi Party and the BRS. And these are direct allegations that have been made against Mr. Manish Sisodia by the Enforcement Directorate in the court today, which also seems to indicate that the ED is very, very eager to also rope in the role of the BRS and K. Kavitha in this matter. We've been seeing Arun Pillai, who is said to be a frontman of K. Kavitha, who is said to be one of the shareholders of Indo-Spirit. He had earlier, remember, given a statement to the Enforcement Directorate on the basis of which the ED has been saying that K. Kavitha has been involved. But today, very crucially, today, just a day before K. Kavitha is expected to approach the ED for questioning, he has moved an application before this Rouse Avenue Court, before the court of Special CBI Judge M.K. Nagpal, saying that he wants to retract those statements that were made before the Enforcement Directorate because those were made under coercion, and that is something that the ED will have to answer to now. The court has issued notice, of course, to the Enforcement Directorate on Arun Pillai's application for retraction of his statements. Remember, the ED's role as far as an investigation agency is concerned is very different from a regular police force. A statement given before an ED officer by an accused or by a witness is by itself a piece of evidence that can be used by the investigation agency.
Okay, thanks Anisha. We'll keep it there for the moment. We'll come back to you when there are updates on this story. Also remember, we're awaiting word from the Rouse Avenue Court on the remand of Manish Sisodia with the Enforcement Directorate. We'll break that first, as always, here on India Today. So stand by for that. Now shifting focus to another story that we're tracking very closely, the shocking escalation and treatment of widows of Pulwama heroes. That showdown in Rajasthan has positively exploded after it began a few days ago. Big drama and dramatic scenes have erupted in Jaipur after BJP leader Kirorilal Meena had been admitted to a hospital after he was injured while protesting against the Ashok Gehlot government, along with the widows of Pulwama heroes. The BJP has lashed out at the Gehlot government, calling it an insult of the Pulwama bravehearts after the widows of those heroes were manhandled and detained by the police. But after huge public uproar, the widows were released by the state police. Earlier, Chief Minister Gehlot had shunned the Bravehearts' widows' demands of statues for the heroes and jobs for their families, calling them inappropriate, and alleged that they were being used by the BJP for political gains. Well, not just the BJP, Sachin Pilot of the Congress party too used the incident to target the Ashok Gehlot Sarkar, asking him to deal with the widows' demands sympathetically.
कि हमारी नौकरी है, उनके बेटे की नौकरी नहीं छीने हम, हमारी नौकरी है, हमारे देवर है, हमारी सास समान कर रहा है, तो मैं उनको नौकरी दिलाना चाहती हूँ। हमारे बेटे को हम सोच सकते हैं क्या करेंगे क्या नहीं करेंगे, उनको नौकरी देनी है, हम देवर को नौकरी दिलाएंगे। कोई मतलब नहीं, बीजेपी से कांग्रेस से किसी से भी मतलब नहीं है। हमारे को न्याय चाहिए, न्याय चाहिए।
आप लोग क्या मुख्यमंत्री अशोक से मिलना चाह रही हैं, क्या कर रहे हैं?
अब कहाँ मिलना दे रहे हैं? हम बोल रहे कि राजी खुशी हम जा रहे, हमारे को 2 बात करनी है, मुख्यमंत्री जी से मिलना है, तो उसी के पास 2 मिनट का टाइम नहीं है क्या?
किरोड़ी जी, आप जाना चाह रहे थे रोहिताश लांबा जी की जो
मैं जामोद बालाजी का दर्शन करने के लिए जा रहा था, ये कामना करने के लिए, हे भगवान इस राजस्थान के मुख्यमंत्री को सद्बुद्धि दो। ये पूरा क्रूल हो गया है, इसकी पुलिस क्रूल हो गई है, वीरांगना को अपमान कर रही है। अब मेरा अपमान कर दिया, मेरे कार्यकर्ताओं को कर दिया, कपड़े फाड़ दिए, धक्का मुक्की कर दी, बैरिकेड लगा दिए, ट्रैक्टर खड़ा कर दिया, नहीं जाने दे रहे। अब भाई मैं इनसे पूछ रहा हूँ, कोई कानून तोड़ा है तो मेरे को गिरफ्तार कर लो, आगे आपको संभावना है कानून टूटेगा तो गिरफ्तार कर लो, जब कुछ भी नहीं है तो मेरे को जाने दो। मैं यही तो कह सकता।
बात करने आए थे, क्या कह रहे थे वो?
वो तो कुछ नहीं कह गए, आगे बस आप जा नहीं सकते ये कह गए। ये तो
लग रहा है कि आप उनके घर जा रहे थे।
ये तो डिक्टेटरशिप हो गई, ये तो तानाशाही हो गई, ये तो निरंकुश हो गया राज शासन और पुलिस।
आपके साथ धक्का मुक्की हुई?
हाँ, आपने देखा ना, आप तो थे ही। कोई बात ना, हमारे साथ तो धक्का मुक्की हो, लेकिन देश की वीरांगनाओं के साथ नहीं होना चाहिए।
आप कितने भी बयान उठाकर देख लीजिए राहुल गांधी जी के, उसमें बार बार, चाहे वो सर्जिकल स्ट्राइक्स हो, चाहे वो एयर स्ट्राइक्स हो, चाहे गलवान घाटी पर जो भारतीय सेना की बहादुरी हो, हर बात और हर बार राहुल गांधी ने प्रश्न उठाया है भारतीय सेना के ऊपर, अपमानित करा है। और यही मानसिकता राजस्थान सरकार की दिखाई दे रही है। अपना बल दिखाना चाहते हैं मुख्यमंत्री और कांग्रेस पार्टी। इनका बल किस पे चल रहा है आप खुद देखिए। देश के बलिदान परिवारों के छोटे बच्चे और महिलाओं के ऊपर अपना बल दिखा रही है राजस्थान पुलिस और राजस्थान के मुख्यमंत्री। मिलने से क्यों घबरा रहे हैं? उनकी सुरक्षा को बलिदान परिवारों से क्या खतरा है? आंखों की शर्म है, इस वजह से नहीं मिलना चाहते। झूठी पार्टी, झूठे वादे कैसे सामने खड़े हो सकते हैं एक वीरांगना के, जिसने अपना पूरा परिवार बलिदान दे दिया इस हिंदुस्तान के ऊपर। पुलवामा के हमले के बाद हमारे वीर बलिदानियों के परिवार के पास जाकर बड़ी बड़ी घोषणाएं करी गई, और आज जब उन घोषणाओं को पूरा करने का समय आया है तो राजस्थान सरकार पीछे हट रही है।
And coming up next, Karnataka bribe gate controversy has escalated even further. The big story that India Today broke is now the biggest story from the poll-bound state. That's coming up next.
You are watching India Today.
Let me get this first from you, Mr. Parthasarathi. When you see those visuals, do you see that as the opposition alleges, self-obsession, personality, cult politics, or do you see it as effective diplomacy using sport?
Well, I wouldn't like to politicize this. In fact, I'd call it a bit of imaginative diplomacy. Anthony Albanese is an Australian Prime Minister who is really moving the process forward after our own relations forward. We're playing a cricket match, and it turns out that it is taking place on his way to the United States to meet President Biden. So, as I said, if you see recently in the World International Football Tournament in Qatar, you had the French president as an invitee because France was playing in the final. He was a guest of the Qatar government. So I think we shouldn't be oversensitive. As I said, in fact, when everybody was critical of the Pakistan Prime Minister being invited, I said, why not? If you're playing cricket, why can't you invite the Prime Minister? So you shouldn't confuse cricket and politics. But yes, there is a diplomatic gain because both Australia and India are friendly countries, and we are talking of cooperation across both the Indian and Pacific Oceans, something which we've never done in the Quad. And therefore, if he comes here, and he is a cricket fan. When I was in Australia, Howard, the Australian Prime Minister, told me that he would have been delighted to see visit India during a test match. So you should take it in that spirit and not politicize. I wouldn't politicize anything, but then I am not in politics.
So you're saying don't
I'm a diplomat.
politicize it.
But as far as diplomacy is concerned,
You're saying it's imaginative diplomacy. Cricket
but
is
as far
something.
as,
Cricket is intrinsic in a way to the Australian way of life. So
yes,
it
I
works-
think for
Yeah, sorry, do complete. Yes, Mr. Parthasarthi.
well, all I can say is
Yes.
that this does work.
Yes.
All I can say is this does work. Australians appreciate it. Here is a country you're building relations with, and you invite the Prime Minister to a test match. And the Australians, I said Prime Minister Howard was cricket crazy, and I wouldn't be surprised if Prime Minister Albanese is similarly so.
Okay.
Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices. Amplify your brand with 100 million smart internet viewers. To advertise, mail us at sales@aajtak.com.
It's lights, camera, action on the biggest poll battle of 2023. And the BJP is doing everything they can to retain power in Karnataka. The double engine of Karnataka Congress, DK Shivkumar and Siddaramaiah, are doing everything they can to oust the BJP. But wait. Haven't we forgotten something? The JDS, aka the Kingmaker. Welcome to the State of War Karnataka.
You are watching India Today.
Just over a month to go for election season in Karnataka, the big state election on the road to 2024. And Bribegate in Karnataka is still the biggest story there. The controversy has exploded and escalated. The accused BJP MLA Madal Virupakshapa has been produced before the Lokayukta for the second day of his interrogation today. Remember, Virupakshapa was booked in a bribery case in which his son was caught red-handed while allegedly receiving a 40 lakh rupee bribe. Meanwhile, the showdown is intensified between the ruling BJP and the opposition Congress in the state, which continues to brand the Bommai government as the most corrupt. And now the Karnataka Chief Minister has hit back, alleging that the Congress is raking up these issues to wash away their own sins in corruption. BJP National President JP Nadda trained his guns at the Congress party, meanwhile, as also the JDS, labeling them as corrupt dynasts.
JDS और कांग्रेस ये एक ही सिक्के के दो पहलू हैं. They are the two sides of the same coin. Both believe in corruption. Both believe in family rule. Both believe in divisive politics. Both believe in divide and rule. Both believe in commission, corruption, casteism, communalism, all types of vices both the parties are having.
ನೋಡಿ ಆಡಳಿತ ಪಕ್ಷದಿಂದ ಆಗಲೇ ನಾನು ಹೇಳಿಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ಸರ್ವ ಸ್ವತಂತ್ರವಾಗಿ ಲೋಕಾಯುಕ್ತ ನಾವು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದ ಅಧಿಕಾರ ಸಿಕ್ಕ ಮೇಲೆ ಅವರು ಸ್ವತಂತ್ರ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಅವರು ಅದನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇನ್ನು ಅವರು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದನ್ನು ಕೋರ್ಟಲ್ಲಿ ಈಗಾಗಲೇ ಹೋಗಿದೆ. ಕೋರ್ಟ್ ತೀರ್ಮಾನ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಕೂಡ ತಲೆಬಾಗಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಈ ಮಧ್ಯೆ ಲೋಕಾಯುಕ್ತ ತೀವ್ರಗತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಫರ್ದರ್ ಎಂಕ್ವೈರಿ ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅದನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ನಾವು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದೂ ಮುಚ್ಚಿದ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆನೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಒಂದು ಮಾತನ್ನು ನಾನು ಹಿಂದೂ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ, ಇವತ್ತು ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ, ಈ ಥರ ಆಪಾದನೆ ಮಾಡೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಅವರು ಮಾಡಿರೋ ಕರಪ್ಷನ್ ತೊಳೆದು ಹೋಗೋದಲ್ಲ, ಅವರು ಮಾಡಿರುವಂಥ ಕರಪ್ಷನ್ ಪಾಪ ತೊಳೆದು ಹೋಗೋದಲ್ಲ, ಅದು ಮತ್ತೆ ಬಂದೇ ಬರ್ತದೆ. 59 ಕೇಸುಗಳನ್ನು ಎಸಿಬಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದು ಲೋಕಾಯುಕ್ತ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇವೆ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಭಾಳಷ್ಟು ಬಣ್ಣು ಕಾಂಗ್ರೆಸ್ಸಿನ ಬಣ್ಣು ಬೇರೆ.
ಸರ್ ಎನ್ ಟಿ ಸೆಕ್ರೆಟರಿ ಬೇಲ್ ತಗೊಂಡು ಒಂಥರ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನು ಮೇಲೆ ಪ್ರೊಟೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಸರಿಯಲ್ಲ ನಾವು ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಸೂಚನೆ ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ ಸರ್ ಸಂಸದೀಯ ಮಂಡಳಿಯಲ್ಲಿ
आप सोचिए ऐसा करप्शन चार्जेस के बारे में बीजेपी जीरो टॉलरेंस में रखता है हमेशा हमेशा। लोकायुक्त रेड हुई, भाजपा सरकार है उसके वजह से रेड हुई। कांग्रेस है तो लोकायुक्त बंद करके एसीबी के वजह से पूरा क्लीन चिट करने का काम करती थी। 2013 से 2018 तक सिद्धरामैया जी ने क्या किया? पूरा क्लीन चिट, पूरा क्लीन चिट, पूरा क्लीन चिट ऐसा किया। आज ऐसा हुआ नहीं, कारण बीजेपी सत्ता में है उसके वजह से।
There is nothing to do with the unity of the party. The party is unified, and there is no doubt, there is no misunderstanding between any leader. The only one intention of every leader is to defeat BJP, the corrupt BJP, because we want to confine them to 40, because the 40% government should confine to 40 only.
Trouble is also mounting for RJD Supremo Lalu Prasad, with the Enforcement Directorate similarly holding raids across 15 locations in connection with the alleged land for jobs scam case that has embroiled his family. In the ongoing probe, Enforcement Directorate has conducted raids at the Bihar Deputy Chief Minister Tejashwi Yadav's Delhi residence, at Lalu Prasad's daughter Meesa Bharti's residence, as well as those belonging to Lalu Prasad's close aides. The searches were held at more than 15 locations across Delhi, the National Capital Region and Bihar. Multiple teams of the Enforcement Directorate carried out searches simultaneously at these locations, including residential and office premises of the suspects and alleged beneficiaries of the alleged land for job scam. Earlier this week, Lalu Prasad and wife Rabri Devi were questioned by the CBI in the same case.
आप रेलवे में नौकरी के बदले जमीन लेंगे, इन सबों को कोई जवाब नहीं दे रहे हैं। वो लोग आज तक नहीं दे रहे हैं, लेकिन बस 24 के चुनाव के लिए किया जा रहा है। तो ये सारे आरोप बेबुनियाद हैं और भ्रष्टाचार करेंगे तो कार्रवाई तो होगी। लूट का लाइसेंस यूपीए सरकार में मिला हुआ था, है ना? तो उस लूट के कारण जो देश के पैसे की लूट हुई है उसका जवाब तो देना पड़ेगा ना।
24 के पहले भारतीय जनता पार्टी की व्याकुलता खुल करके सामने आई है। छापा पर छापा, सीबीआई का इस्तेमाल, ईडी का इस्तेमाल, सारी आपा भारतीय जनता पार्टी खो चुकी है। नैतिकता का इस कदर पतन राजनीति में नहीं होनी चाहिए जो भारतीय जनता पार्टी कर रही है। पूरी तरह से मशीनरियों का दुरुपयोग कर करके अब बहनों के यहाँ, अरे उनके जीजाओं के यहाँ हद है भाई। ये कोई छापा नहीं है, ये तो राजनीतिक बदले की कार्रवाई है जो पूरी तरह से इसको कोई देश की जनता स्वीकार नहीं कर सकती है।
कब तक चलेगी ये रेड? मामला है, टाइम टेबल नहीं होती है। सुनिए एक मिनट, कौन साइड प्लीज। किस मामले में मामला क्या आ रहा है? मामला क्या है? मामला बता दीजिए। आय से अधिक संपत्ति का मामला चल रहा है और कुछ नहीं। रेलवे में भी हमारे अधिकारी अंदर हैं। अच्छा, हम लोगों की टीम है अभी? हमारी 4 बंदे का टीम है। 4 लोग हैं। हाँ, ये रांची से हैं या पटना? नहीं, पटना ईडी से। पटना से। तो अभी आगे पूछताछ और चलती रहेगी? हाँ, अभी चलेगी।
Meanwhile, the big political crossfire over Rahul Gandhi's "my microphone has fallen silent" remark has escalated, with Vice President and Rajya Sabha Chairman Jagdeep Dhankar attacking the Congress MP for his comments regarding microphones being silenced in Parliament, and called it a thoughtless act on democracy. Well, irked by the Vice President's remark, the Congress leader Jairam Ramesh, part of the close Rahul inner circle, has lashed out at the Vice President and said that the Rajya Sabha chairman is an umpire and cannot be a cheerleader for any ruling dispensation. He further called Dhankar the defender of the Modi Sarkar. Meanwhile, the BJP has renewed its attack on Rahul Gandhi and the Congress, asking the party to clarify Rahul's motive behind making such comments against India on foreign soil. The BJP has alleged that Rahul Gandhi has been spewing hatred on his foreign tours.
The world is applauding our historic accomplishments and functional, vibrant democracy. Some amongst us, including parliamentarians, in overdrive, are engaged in thoughtless, unfair denigration of our well-nurtured democratic values. ये लोग मोदी जी का विरोध करते करते देश का विरोध करने लगे। यहाँ भारत जोड़ो यात्रा निकली, भारत तोड़ो यात्रा का जो काम इन्होंने पकड़ा, भारत में इनको किसी ने नहीं सुना। आजकल इंग्लैंड में भाषण दे रहे हैं, ये काम कर रहे हैं। इनको पता ही नहीं है कि भारत मोदी जी का विरोध करते करते ये देश का विरोध करने लगा।
देखिए श्री राहुल गांधी जी विदेशी शक्ति परस्त माओवादी और जिहादियों की भाषा बोल रहे हैं। वो कहते हैं लद्दाख और अरुणाचल प्रदेश में भारत एक ऑक्यूपेशनल फोर्स है। तो मेरा राहुल गांधी जी, खड़गे जी और सोनिया गांधी जी से सवाल है, क्या कांग्रेस पार्टी ये कहती है कि लद्दाख अरुणाचल प्रदेश हिंदुस्तान का हिस्सा नहीं? कांग्रेस को इस बात को स्पष्ट करना चाहिए कि कांग्रेस की सोच क्या है। और लगातार भारतीय सेना का मनोबल गिराना, भारतीय सेना को बदनाम करना और भारतीय सेना पर प्रश्न चिन्ह खड़ा करना, ये कांग्रेस की आदत बन गई है। विदेशी धरती पर जाकर भारत को बदनाम करने का, भारत को तोड़ने का और ये जहर फैलाने का काम श्रीमान राहुल गांधी जी कर रहे हैं। सवाल ये खड़ा होता है कि आखिरकार ऐसी सोच क्यों? ये कौन से अपने विदेशी मित्रों के लिए ये भाषा का उपयोग किया जा रहा है? क्या राहुल गांधी भारत के लिए जीते हैं कि केवल भारत के लिए भ्रम फैलाने का काम ही पैदा करते हैं, नफरत फैलाने का ही काम करते हैं?
जब रेफरी ही बेईमान हो जाए तो समझ सकते हैं कि खिलाड़ी या टीम के साथ में क्या न्याय होगा। जब भी तो ये राज्यसभा में करते थे, विपक्ष के लोगों को नहीं बोलने देते थे, बार बार उठ जाते थे, यह भी उनके मर्यादा के खिलाफ थी।
The institutional framework which is required for a democracy, parliament, a free press, the judiciary, just the idea of mobilization, just the idea of moving around, these are all getting constrained. So we are facing an attack on the basic structure of Indian democracy, right? Here you can see that picture. That picture is taken in front of Parliament House, and that's where a whole bunch of opposition members of Parliament were just standing there talking about certain issues, and we were just locked up and put in jail. And that's happened 3 or 4 times, right? And it's happened relatively violently. That's just an example.
Keep watching India Today. Up next is news for the hearing impaired.
You are watching India Today.
Holi celebrations at the Ola Giga factory, a video shared by the company founder and CEO Bhavish Agarwal. Agarwal also uploaded this video, his own take on his future factory bots joining in on the Holi fun. Meanwhile, this poll also appeared on his Twitter feed with the question, "What's the biggest barrier for you to buy an EV?" The response was huge with around 19,000 votes. The biggest hurdle, it seems, is the lack of charging infrastructure, with more than 30% of the respondents choosing this as the #1 reason. The higher cost of EVs is the second reason. There also seems to be considerable apprehension among customers whether the EV battery will last 5 years. Around 80% of the respondents had range anxiety, a fear that the battery would give out during a trip. The poll triggered more than 500 responses, with people quick to share their suggestions. Customers from as far as Chhattisgarh were inquiring about hyperchargers. with another user suggesting that chargers be installed outside restaurants, cafes and other locations besides gas stations. There were also complaints of government subsidy on electric vehicles not percolating to the customer. But most took the opportunity to raise various other issues of services related to deliveries, of deadlines not kept, and of accessories still to be installed. While the poll clearly highlights the gaps in the sector, the government has also been taking steps to promote the EV space in India. In the Union Budget presented last month, Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman announced a policy to support battery energy storage systems with a capacity of 4,000 megawatt-hour with viability gap funding. She also mentioned an outlay of 35,000 crore rupees for priority capital investments towards energy transition and net zero goals till 2070.
In the month of October last year, we did a ground report on the EV charging infrastructure in Delhi NCR, where we found most of the EV charging stations that we encountered were either broken or were out of service. This just shows there's a gap between what we want EV adoption to be and the ground reality. This was Akanksha Chaturvedi for Business Today TV.
It's lights, camera, action on the biggest poll battle of 2023. And the BJP is doing everything they can to retain power in Karnataka. The double engine of Karnataka Congress, DK Shivkumar and Siddaramaiah, are doing everything they can to oust the BJP. But wait. Haven't we forgotten something? The JDS, aka the Kingmaker. Welcome to the State of War Karnataka.
The Enforcement Directorate has sought 10 days custody of Manish Sisodia in the Liquorgate scandal, accuses the former Delhi Deputy Chief Minister of money laundering. Sisodia says not a single penny has been traced to him. The war of words has intensified between the BJP and the Congress as BJP MP Madal Virupakshapa of Karnataka has been produced before the state Lokayukta for the second day running. The Congress continues to brand the Bombay government as the most corrupt. Meanwhile, BJP National President JP Nadda called the Congress and JDS corrupt dynasties. Remember, 8 crore rupees was seized from the MLA's office and his son's residence in Bengaluru. The war of words has reignited over Rahul Gandhi's microphone gag remark. Vice President and Rajya Sabha Chairman Jagdeep Dhankar has condemned the Congress MP for his comments regarding microphones being silenced in Parliament and called it a thoughtless attack on democracy. Congress leader Jairam Ramesh has lashed out at the Vice President and called Dhankar a defender of the Modi Sarkar. The Kerala gold scam continues to unravel shocking details. Swapna Suresh, one of the key accused in the case, has levelled fresh allegations at Kerala Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan. She alleges that the ruling CPM offered her 30 crore rupees through an intermediary to settle the case and leave the state, but she said she will continue to fight till her last breath.
बोलो बाटारन स्वामी की।
भैया तारीफ उस खुदा की जिसने ये जहां बनाया है। बंदे को शराफत अली कहते हैं।
बाबा जी मैं थोड़ा छोटा हूँ, थोड़ा काला हूँ, थोड़ा मोटा हूँ, लेकिन मेरी बाकी बॉडी है ना एकदम सलमान खान की तरह है। जानम समझा करो, जानम समझा करो, बाबा जी समझा करो।
प्रॉब्लम है कि 12 साल पहले मैं इनके साथ 7 फेरे ले चुका हूँ।
भाई 12 साल पुरानी बात अब आप क्यों उठा रहे हैं?
अरे मैं इनका हस्बैंड हूँ और अब शादीशुदा औरत पे लाइन मार रहे हैं।
ओ जी मैं भाभी जी नमस्ते जी।
काशीराम वो आ गया। होता पकड़ बोने ब्रज बार
लखन के आते ही आपके मुड़ 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 मंत्र क्यों शुरू हो जाते हैं? चेहरा लाल, छाती नीली, हाथ पीले हो जाते हैं, बात क्या है?
काशीराम काम कर काम कर।
आप मेरे पास, आप कहती मैं आपके पास आ गया होता। आई एम DS भंडारी। DS मतलब दिल से और भंडारी मतलब सिर्फ भंडारी। गोबर का बॉस। गोवर्धन का बॉस और आपका बहुत बड़ा फैन।
मामे ये तेरा दांत सोने का है ना? सोने का तो है पर दूंगा नहीं। दे देना मामे। मामे दे देना, दे देना। अच्छा मामे एक बात बता यार, दिलदार तुझे कैसा चाहिए? दांत चाहिए कि भांजा चाहिए? नहीं इस बार तो दांत चाहिए, भांजा बिल्कुल नहीं चाहिए।
भाई ये बंदे का नाम है शराफत अली। कसम उड़ान झल्ले की, पूरे चोर बाजार में पिछले 9 सालों में शराफत अली ने पैसा नहीं कमाया, लेकिन शराफत से इज्जत बहुत कमाई है। इज्जत।
हाँ शराफत भाई वाह, ये तो हद हो गई शराफत की। क्या नाम भी शराफत है। हाँ ये तो घास काट रहा है, माली तो नहीं है? भांजे तने फिल्मों में नहीं देखा, हर बड़ा आदमी है ना अपने घर में घास काटता है। हाँ लेकिन क्यों? वो इसलिए कि इन बेचारों के पास है ना पैसा बहुत होता है, तो इनका है ना टाइम नहीं कटता है, तो अपना टाइम काटने के लिए है ना घर में घास काटते हैं।
हेलो जर्मन में फिर से सलीम बोल रहा हूँ।
ओ महाराज सलीम, सॉरी वो फोन कट गया था। और महाराज सुनो क्या हाल चाल है?
हाँ तो मैं ये कह रहा था कि मेरी बीवी ने बहुत पीटा और कहा कि तो जर्मन को जो उठा दे रहा, क्या वो
हेलो?
नहीं गया?
हेलो हेलो
हेलो
हेलो
जर्मन,
हेलो
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 हेलो हेलो जर्मन,
हेलो सिर्फ जर्मन जर्मन सुनाई दे रहा है।
अरे लेकिन मुझे सब सुनाई दे रही है। जो कर्जा रखा वो कर्जा दे रहा है यार तू।
हेलो
कर्जा देना यार।
हेलो हेलो
हेलो
ठहरो, मेरे कमरे में कोई है जो हमारी बातें सुन रहा है। कौन है? बाहर निकालो उसे, बाहर निकालो उसे। प्राइवेट कॉल। हमारी बातें तो नहीं सुनी तुमने? मेरी बातें तो नहीं सुनी तुमने? बहरे हो? ओके ओके। पिंटो पिंटो वो बहरा है।
Captain Shaliza Dhami. She's a qualified helicopter pilot with over 2,800 hours of flying experience. And now she's the commanding officer of a frontline missile squadron near the Pakistan border. Group Captain Shaliza Dhami created history on 7th of March 2023 by becoming the first female officer in such a combat role in Indian forces.
If you talk about commanding a unit, see, command doesn't require a gender. It's not based on gender, it is a capability. If you are meeting rescuers, you will be given that opportunities. And as you have said in the opening statement, if I have so many firsts with me, so people have given me the opportunity.
And she is not alone. Captain Shiva Chauhan of Fire and Fury Sappers became the first woman officer to be operationally deployed in Siachen in January. After completing arduous training at the highest battlefield of the world, she is now deployed in Kumar Post, ready to safeguard world's highest and deadliest battleground, the Siachen Glacier.
So it is really a great experience and great opportunity for me to grab it, sir, to be the first here in Siachen, sir. And moreover, I feel that from now onwards, more and more women officers will be coming here, serving this terrain, and many might get inspired to join the Indian Army, sir.
From the western front to the eastern flank, Nari Shakti stands guard in Indian defense, flying high in the air. Flying free with the hawk's instinct to guard the motherland. Flying Su-30 fighter jet as weapon system operator is the first Indian woman Flight Lieutenant Tejasvi of the Indian Air Force, along with other women pilots who's ready to respond to any eventuality. These women are smart, savvy and super confident and deployed at the China front. Indian Air Force's women's superpower at the Eastern Front are a band of young women.
Being part of any actual operation is what every fighter pilot in the Indian Air Force trains for, because that's where we would get to show our mettle. Our pilots from various bases in the eastern sector are ready to respond in case of any eventuality. We're always ready for any kind of tasks and challenges that may come upon us.
The WSOs or WISOs are specialist officers required to fly in the rear cockpit of multi-role Su-30 fighter aircraft and handle the sensors and weapons to be fired by the aircraft at enemy targets.
It's lights, camera, action on the biggest poll battle of 2023. And the BJP is doing everything they can to retain power in Karnataka. The double engine of Karnataka Congress, DK Shivkumar and Siddaramaiah, are doing everything they can to oust the BJP. But wait. Haven't we forgotten something? The JDS, aka the Kingmaker. Welcome to the State of War Karnataka.
After CBI, Enforcement Directorate arrests Kejriwal's main man. Arrest after 2 days of intense grilling. Sisodia's politics of jail jibe at the BJP. Aam Aadmi Party cries foul, alleges conspiracy.
मोदी जी बौखला दे, अरे कुछ मिल ही नहीं रहा है, ऐसे कैसे हो सकता है? लगाओ अपनी ईडी।
BJP versus AAP dangal on corruption. BJP says Kejriwal is the biggest mastermind.
Mr. Kejriwal, he is the Pinocchio of Indian politics. He only lies, tries to divert, and he tries to cover up for corruption.
The big Delhi Liquorgate dangal explodes. The big focus on 5 Live. Kavitha will be questioned tomorrow. Corruption becomes the big political headline in the national capital and beyond in the year's big election season. I'm Shiv. This is 5 Live. Thanks so much for tuning in. The headlines first as always. With just a day left for her Enforcement Directorate appearance, KCR's daughter Kavitha stages a big protest demanding the Women's Reservation Bill. Nearly 16 opposition parties lend support.
महिलाओं को राजनीतिक क्षेत्र में भी भागीदारी मिलनी चाहिए.
Widow's stir escalates in Jaipur. BJP's Kirodi Lal Meena injured and hospitalized after showdown with police. Braveheart's widows detained, then released. BJP says Congress insulting the heroes. BJP hits out at Rahul Gandhi over his remarks in the United Kingdom. Union Minister Anurag Thakur accuses Rahul of spewing hate against India. Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar criticizes foreign interference statement. Just months ahead of the polls, Congress flexes a united stance in Karnataka. Siddaramaiah and DK Shivakumar appeal to voters together in the same frame. Big fire still raging at Kochi's Brahmapuram toxic waste plant rages on for 9 days now. Indian Navy and state officials intensify joint firefighting operations. 2 pilots, part of the operations, join me live at 5:40. The Delhi Liquorgate dangal has heated up, and how? And that's my top story on 5 p.m. today. An order on Aam Aadmi Party leader and Arvind Kejriwal's number 2 man, Manish Sisodia. His remand with the Enforcement Directorate. An order on that is expected very shortly by a Delhi court. An intense series of arguments have been taking place between the Enforcement Directorate and Manish Sisodia's legal team in the Delhi excise policy case, which we're calling the Liquorgate dangal. The Enforcement Directorate has told the court that Manish Sisodia had a direct role in the Delhi liquor scam and underscored that the Delhi liquor policy was framed to benefit certain individuals, including KCR's daughter Kavitha. Sisodia's lawyers claim instead of solid evidence, arrests are made only according to perception of the agency. Meanwhile, Delhi BJP took to the streets against the Aam Aadmi Party government. The Saffron Party alleges that Kejriwal is the biggest mastermind amongst all and he needs to be arrested next. Sisodia has been lodged in Delhi's Tihar jail after being arrested by the CBI for his alleged role in the Liquorgate scandal.
BJP is staging yet another protest near the Aam Aadmi Party national headquarters over the excise policy case, and right there you could see several dummies of Tihar jail have been formed at the protest site with the Aam Aadmi Party top leaders inside such dummy jails. This is one jail where you could see a person wearing Arvind Kejriwal's mask, and this is because BJP is now demanding that Arvind Kejriwal should resign from the post of Delhi Chief Minister, and you have the BJP Karyakartas expressing their anger at the Deen Dayal Upadhyay Marg on the dummy jails which have been put out here. On the other side, when you will go where the 2 other jails have been established by the BJP Karyakartas out here, these are 2 dummy Tihar jails which have been constructed at the protest site.
There is only one place for those who indulge in corruption, that is Tihar jail, and therefore we have shown that the Arvind Kejriwal government is head to toe dipped in corruption, and the ministers are in jail, and not because of agencies, because courts have kept him there. Satyendra Jain is in jail for 9 months. Manish Sisodia did not get relief from Supreme Court. Vijay Nair is in jail for 6 months. Yet Mr. Kejriwal calls them Kattar Imandar. He is the most corrupt kingpin of corruption in Delhi, under whose watch and patronage Sharab Ghotala took place, Kaksha Ghotala took place, Delhi Jal Board Ghotala, Bus Ghotala took place. In fact, they will get gold medal for the ghotalas they've done.
ये तो साफ दिखाता है कि केंद्र सरकार का इन्वेस्टिगेशन से, करप्शन से उनका कोई लेना देना नहीं है. वो सिर्फ एक पॉलिटिकल स्ट्रेटजी के तहत काम कर रहे हैं कि कैसे मनीष सिसोदिया जी को जेल में रखा जाए. अभी तक सीबीआई ये नहीं बता पाई है कि उनके पास मनीष सिसोदिया जी के खिलाफ क्या डॉक्यूमेंट्री एविडेंस है. देयर इज नथिंग.
Let's go straight across to India Today's Amit Bharadwaj and Anisha Mathur who's live from the Rouse Avenue Court in Delhi, where an order on enforcement directorate remand is expected very shortly. Anisha, how soon before we know more about that?
Well, Shiv, we're still waiting for an update from inside the courtroom. The judge, of course, had reserved his verdict at around 4:30 p.m. and had said he will be passing the verdict shortly. It is now past 5 p.m. We should be hopefully getting a verdict in the next 15 to 20 minutes or so, because the courts, as we all know, the trial courts close at 5:30 p.m. The time for the officials to leave from here is at 5:30 p.m. So unless the judge wants his staff to stay longer, the verdict should be coming very shortly. But the interesting arguments have taken place today, Shiv, in this particular matter. Today, of course, Mr. Sisodia's bail petition in the CBI case now on the 21st of March, which seems to indicate that at least some days of custody is likely to be given to the Enforcement Directorate. Now, we're just getting breaking news from our colleagues, Shiv. My colleague Kanu Sharda and Srishti Ojha are inside the courtroom. We're just getting that Sisodia has been sent to 10 days of custody of 7 days of custody, I beg your pardon, 7 days custody granted of Manish Sisodia to Enforcement Directorate. This is an information that is just being broken by my colleagues Srishti and Kanu, who are inside the courtroom. He will remain now in custody till the 17th of March. Well, this is a big breaking news that we're bringing to you. My colleagues are inside the courtroom. 17th of March is when Manish Sisodia will be brought back now here to the Rouse Avenue Court. The Enforcement Directorate now has 7 days custody of Mr. Sisodia to interrogate him, confront him with all the witnesses, all the other co-accused, etc. This is the news we're bringing you right now as my colleagues are inside, saying that Enforcement Directorate gets custody of Manish Sisodia till March 17th. And very clearly, the ED has been able to make its case before the court of Special CBI Judge M.K. Nagpal. The ED, remember, has been saying that they have received evidence that even in Manish Sisodia's own secretary had given a statement to the ED saying that he was part of the changing of the liquor policy. Clearly, the ED has gotten its way right now. For 7 days custody has been granted. He will now be brought back on the 17th of March at 2 p.m. to the Rouse Avenue Court. Remember, the ED has been saying that they have documentary evidence, they have witness statements, etc., linking Mr. Sisodia to the money trail, that they are still looking for the money exchange, for the money trail. They've also said that they have summoned several persons over the... I beg your pardon. They've summoned 7 persons in the next few days who will now be confronted with Mr. Manish Sisodia while he is in the Enforcement Directorate custody. And one of them is likely to be Kavitha, who's the BRS leader, who's the daughter of the Telangana Chief Minister, because a lot of the arguments by the ED today have been with regard to money coming from Hyderabad to Delhi. The ED has also said that several persons have given their statements, several witness statements have been recorded. Of course, Dinesh Arora, who is one of the persons who was accused in this case, was a businessman.
Yes.
He had also turned approver and given a statement. There's also Arun Pillai, who had directly mentioned the connection between the South Cartel, the liquor license holders, and the Aam Aadmi Party's Vijay Nair and others. So all of these things will have to now be considered and investigated properly by the Enforcement Directorate. On the 17th now we will find out what has been the further investigation done by the Enforcement Directorate. And as you very, very shortly, Shiv, we will see the lawyers for the ED as well as the lawyers for Sisodia now coming out of the court, and we'll give you an update on what exactly has been said in detail by the judge while granting custody. Back to you.
Okay, stay with me, Anisha. We'll cut back to you once those lawyers come out. I'm just going straight to, we have Amit with us, but I want to quickly go to Munish Pandey, my colleague, who's outside the Enforcement Directorate at this point. Munish, give us a preview. The Enforcement Directorate asked for 10 days. They've got 7 days remand to interrogate Manish Sisodia. Just walk us through what kind of interrogation this is going to be. What kind of line of questioning will there be? And like Anisha was telling us, he is going to be faced with others.
Yeah, well, Shiv, before answering your question, let me show you what is happening outside the ED headquarters, because Manish Sisodia will be brought here. You can see the barricades have been placed here, and there is a police deployment here. Enough number of police have been deployed, and apart from that, there is a paramilitary forces inside this ED headquarters where Manish Sisodia will be staying for next 7 days. Now, answering your question, Shiv, as far as the next 7 days are going to be concerned, Manish Sisodia will be confronted with series of evidences, not only the accused in the case, not only witnesses in the case, but also documentary and digital evidences in this case are concerned, he will be confronted with. Apart from that, the line of questioning will be regarding the draft copy of excise policy, why the profit margin was raised from 5% to 12%, why there was a meeting at the residence of Arvind Kejriwal in presence of Satyendra Jain, where the then excise secretary C. Arvind was informed for the first time that the profit margin has been raised to 12%. Why the files with experts' opinion and comments was deleted from the excise department server. All these questions will be asked to Manish Sisodia, but important is going to be destruction of evidence, because remember, Manish Sisodia's own secretary Devendra Sharma appeared before the Enforcement Directorate, and he in his statement has told the ED that there were phones which were bought on my name from Flipkart, and those phones were used by Manish Sisodia. And now ED claims that out of 14 phones which were used by Manish Sisodia in year 2021-2022, they are yet to recover 12 phones, and many of these phones have been destroyed. So certainly it is going to be extremely important as far as this investigation is concerned. But Shiv, trouble seems to be mounting for Manish Sisodia, because remember, ED, while taking the custody of
Stay with me, Munish. Sanjay Singh of the Aam Aadmi Party is speaking live. Let's just go across. We'll come back to you.
बदनाम करो, मनीष सिसोदिया को एन केन प्रकारेण किसी भी तरीके से जेल के अंदर रखो। कोई साक्ष्य मनीष सिसोदिया के खिलाफ अब तक नहीं मिला। मैं पूछना चाहता हूं नरेंद्र मोदी जी से, आप बताइए देश को सामने आकर, मनीष सिसोदिया के घर 14 घंटे सीबीआई की छापेमारी हुई, कुछ नहीं मिला। गांव में छापेमारी हुई, कुछ नहीं मिला। दफ्तर में छापेमारी हुई, कुछ नहीं मिला। बैंक में छापेमारी हुई, कुछ नहीं मिला। पहली चार्जशीट आई, कुछ नहीं मिला। दूसरी चार्जशीट आई, कुछ नहीं मिला। 5 दिन सीबीआई ने पूछताछ की, कुछ नहीं मिला। 2 दिन फिर पूछताछ की, कुछ नहीं मिला। और जब 10 तारीख को मनीष सिसोदिया जी की सीबीआई के मामले में जमानत पर कोर्ट में सुनवाई होनी थी, उसके ठीक पहले 10 महीने से सो रही ईडी को जगाया गया। जागो जागो, अरे कुछ तो करो, कैसे ये बाहर आ जाएगा। ठीक जमानत की सुनवाई के 1 दिन पहले ईडी पहुंच जाती है और गिरफ्तार कर लेती है मनीष सिसोदिया जी को। आज बताइए पूरे देश को, जिस घोटाले को मोदी जी, आप और आपकी पार्टी सैकड़ों हजारों करोड़ का घोटाला बता रही है। कोई कहता है 10,000 करोड़ का घोटाला, कोई कहता है 2,000 करोड़ का घोटाला। इतने छापेमारियों के बाद, पूरी सीबीआई ईडी लगाने के बाद, सारी जांच एजेंसियों की ताकत झोंकने के बाद क्या बरामदगी हुई, आप बताइए। पूरे देश को सामने आकर बताइए क्या क्या आपने बरामद किया। कितने पैसे मिले मनीष सिसोदिया के घर, कितनी रिकवरी हुई मनीष सिसोदिया के घर, किस आरोप और जुर्म में आपने मनीष सिसोदिया को जेल में रखा है, बताइए आप। कोई जवाब नहीं। जवाब सिर्फ एक है, आम आदमी पार्टी को किसी तरीके से रोको, मनीष सिसोदिया को किसी भी तरीके से जेल में रखो, और जो भ्रष्टाचार के आरोप प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी और उनके मित्र के ऊपर लग रहे हैं, उस अडानी के घोटाले से ध्यान भटकाने के लिए भारतीय जनता पार्टी जो भ्रष्टाचार में सर से पांव तक डूबी हुई है, उस भ्रष्टाचार से ध्यान हटाने के लिए ये रोज नए नए ड्रामे, नई नई कहानियां, नई नई सीबीआई के किस्से, नए नए ईडी के किस्से आ रहे हैं। इसका न सिर है न पांव है। और भारतीय जनता पार्टी तो वो पार्टी बन गई है जिसमें जो जितना बड़ा भ्रष्टाचारी वो उतना बड़ा पदाधिकारी। आप सोचिए, वाटर स्कैम का आरोप हेमंत विश्व शर्मा पर भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने लगाया, फिर उसको मुख्यमंत्री बना दिया। मुकुल राय पर शारदा स्कैम का आरोप लगाया, फिर उसको राष्ट्रीय उपाध्यक्ष बना दिया। शुभेंदु अधिकारी पर शारदा स्कैम के भ्रष्टाचार की जांच चलती है, फिर उसको लीडर ऑफ अपोजिशन बंगाल का बना दिया। नारायण राणे पर लैंड स्कैम, जमीन के घोटाले का मामला चलता है सीबीआई में, फिर उनको केंद्रीय मंत्री बना दिया जाता है। अजीत पवार पर चक्की पिसिंग कह के सिंचाई घोटाले का 40,000 करोड़ का आरोप लगाया जाता है, फिर 6:30 बजे सुबह देवेंद्र फडणवीस के साथ मिलकर शपथ ले ली जाती है। येदियुरप्पा पर माइनिंग घोटाले का आरोप लगता है, फिर उनको मुख्यमंत्री बना दिया जाता है। शिवराज सिंह पर व्यापम घोटाले का आरोप लगता है, फिर उनको मुख्यमंत्री बना दिया जाता है। तो बीजेपी का नारा है, जो जितना बड़ा भ्रष्टाचारी वो उतना बड़ा पदाधिकारी। ये इनकी हालत है, ये इनकी हालत है। पूरा देश देख रहा है। प्रधानमंत्री जी, आप में जरा सा भी नैतिक साहस है तो आइए और बताइए मनीष सिसोदिया के घर पे क्या रिकवरी हुई, बताइए इतने सारे छापेमारियों के बाद कितना कैश मिला, क्या क्या बरामदगी हुई, बताइए पूरे देश को। और जहां बरामदगी होती है वहां पर आंख पर पट्टी बांध लेते हो आप लोग। वहां आपकी सीबीआई, वहां आपकी ईडी, वहां आपकी जांच एजेंसियां ऐसे मामलों में गजनी मोड में चली जाती है, गजनी मोड में। याददाश्त खो जाती है जब बीजेपी एमएलए के बेटे के घर 8 करोड़ रुपए निकलता है, कैश में मोटी मोटी गड्डियां सामने आती है, उसको जमानत मिल जाती है, उसके खिलाफ कोई कार्रवाई नहीं होती। जब अडानी का घोटाला सामने आता है, मॉरिशस में एक पते पर 6 कंपनी खोलकर 42,000 करोड़ रुपए काला धन, उन 6 कंपनियों की आमदनी का जरिया पता नहीं, अडानी की कंपनी में हिंदुस्तान के अंदर 42,000 करोड़ रुपए लगाया जाता है। कोई ईडी, कोई सीबीआई, कोई जांच एजेंसी उस पर कार्रवाई नहीं करती। बताइए आप, मुंद्रा पोर्ट पर 3,000 किलो ड्रग्स मिली, हीरोइन मिली, तालिबान से वो ड्रग्स लाई गई थी। 3,000 किलो हीरोइन, 20,000 करोड़ रुपए का ड्रग्स मिला। और मोदी जी, आपने क्या किया? जो 20,000 करोड़ का तालिबान आपको ड्रग्स देता है, भारत के मुंद्रा पोर्ट पर ड्रग्स देता है, उस तालिबान को आप 20,000 टन गेहूं देते हैं। मोदी जी का नारा है, तुम मुझे ड्रग्स दो, मैं तुम्हें गेहूं दूंगा। ये नारा है इनका। आज आटा खिलाया जा रहा है तालिबानियों को, आटा खिला खिला के मोटा किया जा रहा है। आप मुझे जरा बताइए, भारत के बजट में सैकड़ों करोड़ रुपए मोदी जी दे देते हैं, बताइए आप, ये कौन सी जांच हो रही है? सिर्फ विपक्ष के लोगों पर, सिर्फ मनीष सिसोदिया पर, सिर्फ अरविंद केजरीवाल पर, सिर्फ सत्येंद्र जैन पर, सिर्फ आम आदमी पार्टी पर।
क्या इस देश के लोगों को याद नहीं 7 साल पहले आपने अरविंद केजरीवाल के दफ्तर पे सीबीआई का छापा मारा था, क्या निकला? 43 विधायकों पे फर्जी मुकदमे करके जेल में आपने रखा, क्या निकला? बताइए, आपने सुंगलू कमेटी से 400 फाइलों की हमारी जांच की, क्या निकला? तो सिर्फ आप बदनाम करने के लिए झूठे मुकदमे लगाते हैं, झूठे आरोप लगाते हैं जिसका ना कोई सिर है ना पांव है, और आप साहस नहीं है आपके अंदर कि सामने आके हमारी बातों का आप जवाब दे सके। तो इसलिए आम आदमी पार्टी की लड़ाई जारी रहेगी, हमारा संघर्ष जारी रहेगा। और अगर मोदी जी ये सोचते हैं कि उनकी सरकार के भ्रष्टाचार, उनके मित्र के द्वारा किए गए भ्रष्टाचार का मुद्दा इन गिरफ्तारियों से और इन कार्रवाइयों से टल जाएगा, तो ऐसा होने वाला नहीं है। आप ध्यान भटकाने की कोशिश कीजिए, हम याद दिलाने की कोशिश करेंगे और बार बार आपके घोटालों को खोलने का काम करेंगे। आपके कोई प्रश्न आप पूछ सकते हैं।
सर, आपका नाम भी आया है, आज जो चर्चा हुई है, ईडी के काउंसिल ने आपका भी नाम उछाला है, कहा गया है कि आपने फंडिंग, आम आदमी पार्टी को पैसे की कमी हो रही थी, फंडिंग की कमी थी, इसलिए आपने कई सारे रेस्टोरेंटियर्स से बातचीत की जिसमें दिनेश अरोड़ा भी शामिल।
देखिए, ऐसा है कि मनोहर कहानियां
Manish Sisodia will be brought to the Enforcement Directorate very, very shortly. That's where India Today's Munish Pandey is right now. Munish, take us through the preparations you were telling us.
Well, Shiv, we are standing right outside the ED headquarters in the national capital, and as you can see, the moment the order was pronounced that he is to be sent in ED custody for 7 days, you can see the barricades have been placed here right outside the ED headquarters, and there is enough number of police personnel who have been deployed here just to ensure that if there is any protest by any political party or anyone, there should not be any disruption in law and order. Apart from that, we can also tell you that there is a CSF security which is inside, the ED headquarters. So overall, ED has prepared everything so that when Manish Sisodia is in their custody.
थे और उस पर कोर्ट ने जो है अभी 10 दिन की पीसी मांगी थी ईडी ने। कोर्ट ने 17 तारीख तक यानी 7 दिन की पीसी ग्रांट की है और 17 तारीख को 2 बजे फिर कोर्ट में पेश करना होगा ईडी को।
Sir, your line of argument was for Mr. Sisodia that there is no clear evidence against him, that there is no money trail, but it does not seem to have been accepted by the court because if
no, the court is not that the court has not accepted it. The grant of remand is a process of the investigation. So it's not about the accepting or rejecting the argument, but on the paper. In the application, 50 pages or 58 pages of the application, and not a single proof they are going to show to the court that where money has reached Mr. Sisodia or not. Not at all. Not an
पहली बार अरविंद केजरीवाल का नाम लिया गया और संजय सिंह का नाम लिया गया कि
it is in the some statement given by the some witnesses, not by the ED in any of that. That was referred.
So what was actually said in the remand application? What are the
there are 50 pages.
What are the evidences that the ED is talking about?
I would say that 58 pages of the remand application, all blown up allegations, nothing substantial, and not a single iota of an evidence where it has been shown that the money trail has reached to Mr. Sisodia. Nothing.
Once again, not at all. Coming in that he has been completely evasive since beginning. He has been, evasive.
See, in investigation, you're supposed to say what you're supposed to say. You can't put a gun on the head and say that they confessed something. So that this can't be the investigation. So whatever reply that he has given, they will keep on saying that the evasive and all. Nothing like that.
What is the next step now for Mr. Sisodia?
Now the bail application in the CBI, which has been postponed by in the haste that the EDA has arrested. One day when the bail application was listed today, they have arrested yesterday. It shows the kind of the malafide that the ED has. So now the bail application will be heard on 21st.
No,
the
17
CBI.
Will you seek preponement of the bail hearing?
No, that's not the case because 17 till the police remand is there. We may make a prayer of the bail hearing to take place on the same day if the ED comes with that no further remand is there and all those circumstances. Let's see what happens on the 17th first.
So
संजय सिंह का नाम जिस तरह से आ रहा है और
संजय सिंह का नाम और बाकी लोगों का नाम विटनेसेस के स्टेटमेंट में दिया गया है कि ये जानते थे, ये मानते, इन्होंने, देयर इज नथिंग ऑन ईडी टू शो, देयर इज नो एलिगेशन फॉर दोस पीपल, नथिंग.
Sir, the ED has also said that they have statements from the secretary himself.
Those are the matter of the investigation that will come.
Excise Commissioner has given a statement, sir.
Yes, those statements will be taken at the time of the trial. Nothing can.
Thank you.
All right, Anisha and Munish continue to be with me. Munish, do we know when Manish Sisodia is going to be brought to the ED?
Sir, please.
Well, it will take a little time, around 30 minutes, Shiv, because remember, he was in the custody of Tihar jail. He was in judicial custody. So after the custody has been given to the enforcement directorate, there is a process where the transfer of Manish Sisodia will be from Tihar jail custody to the ED custody. So it will take few minutes, and few minutes Manish Sisodia will take to reach this ED headquarters. But also, Shiv, we have accessed the remand application. Remember, in recent times, I haven't seen such a long remand copy of any agency. This was a 58 pages remand copy. Usually see a remand copy of 5 pages, 8 pages or 10 pages. But this is a 58 pages remand copy. And about Manish Sisodia, what they have mentioned is that Manish Sisodia got the policy formulated and implemented in a way so to allow illegal gains to certain persons, entities against kickbacks. He took various decisions as a part of group of ministers and as the excise minister, which ultimately resulted into huge loss to the exchequer and illegal gains to specific persons, entities against kickbacks. So this is one of the parts which I'm reading. There is a series of, there are charts and everything which the ED has mentioned in their entire remand application, and it is going to be certainly important because remember, this is what they have mentioned in the remand copy, which means that in terms of paper trail, in terms of when Manish Sisodia will be questioned, they will have huge amount of documentary evidences with which Manish Sisodia will be confronted. So we can say that next few days are going to be troubling as far as the Delhi former Deputy Chief Minister is concerned.
Okay, Munish, stay with me. So it's going to take a while, some paperwork to be done before Manish Sisodia is brought to the Enforcement Directorate. Kanu Sarda is with us from outside the Rouse Avenue Court, where 7 days remand has just been handed down for Manish Sisodia with the Enforcement Directorate. Kanu, can you tell us what happened in court? We just heard from the Aam Aadmi Party lawyer. 10 days of remand had been requested. They've got 7 days. How did it all play out?
Well, Chief, the 7-day remand was granted to the ED just to question and find out the money trail which was alleged in the remand application by the ED. They have sought 10 days remand, but it is we have always seen that whatever the remand is being sought by the investigating agency, the court doesn't fulfill all that. But interestingly, K. Kavitha is supposed to be appearing before the ED investigating agency tomorrow, and in the ED arguments before the court today, it was categorically mentioned that they have summoned 7 people and they might confront Manish Sisodia with all of them. So it will be very interesting to see tomorrow that if whether Manish Sisodia will be confronted with K. Kavitha and how the things will play in the coming days.
Okay.